Good morning, guys. Today is a very, very good day for me. I actually got a full night's sleep last night. Rowan slept the entire night, pretty much. He had a little bit of a cry around 2:30 this morning, but apart from that, nothing. I haven't been this rested in a long time. So, I figured while I'm all rested and in such an amazing mood, I would test out some new makeup. So yeah, this is going to be a first impressions. I know a lot of people don't like first impressions, but I'm not saying this is a review. It's definitely a first impression. So you've got your disclaimer there. I'm definitely carrying on with my project planning stuff. I did pick up a few things that I had on my wish list, and I'm just desperate to throw them on my face. I don't know why I'm not getting a lot of primer on there, but I need to squeeze the tube up a bit. So, most of this look will be with new makeup. And you may notice I'm actually wearing something slightly decent today. I'm actually starting to fit back into my between pregnancy clothes. I still haven't managed to fit into my first pregnancy clothes yet. So I'm quite happy to be in my between pregnancy clothes. But the palette I'm going to be working with today is the Chocolate Orange palette from I Heart Makeup, or I Heart Revolution, as they go by now, and this is what it looks like. It actually really kind of reminds me of the Modern Renaissance palette in a way. Maybe not quite, but kind of. Or maybe like the Urban Decay Fever palette, is that what it's called? I can't remember. I'm so out of the loop with some of these releases, but you know, the new Naked palette that came out. The only problem with this palette is it doesn't have a matte highlight shade. It has one that's sort of a satin colour, but it's not light enough for me to use, so I am gonna take a light highlight shade out of my palette, and you may have noticed I've got sparkly clean brushes, especially for the occasion. I went and quickly cleaned them off, so I'm just going to go down and set my primer potion with a matte shade. I actually went into town yesterday. It was supposed to be like a family outing, but it ended up just being myself, and it's the first time I've been in town on a Saturday afternoon in a long time, and it was glorious sunshine. I swear it could have been summer. It could have been the middle of freaking July and not April, although you're probably not going to see this in April. It's probably going to be May before you see this, but hey ho. But it was a good day. Just me and Rowan out for a big long stroll, and it was actually not that busy in town, which is strange. Usually Saturday afternoons are hectic. The only place that was bad was Primark, but then, you know, if you don't get in Primark as soon as it opens, it's a mess. So, we are going to start with... I don't know. I'm going to take Clementine. Oh my god, this smells like... It smells like Satsuma from the Body Shop. But I'm going to take Clementine, which is this orangey brown at the top there. Dark peach, shall we say. Oh wait, I've got a mirror in front of me. Huh. I'm leaning forward when I've got one in my hand. Apologies for all the scraping sounds you can hear. It's the cats in the litter tray. Apparently whichever one is in there right now is not happy with the job they're doing. So this one is Clementine. Oh man, this is so pretty. So pretty. It's nice to have a break from my Pan That palette. It's all I've been using. I dabbled a bit in other stuff in February, but since like the start of March, it's pretty much all I've been using is my Pan That palette. Oh wow, that got really pigmented. Has way more pigmented than the other side. Let's even that out a bit. Oh my god, this is gonna be so orange. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I'm going to take a thin crease brush and I'm going to go in with, what is this colour called? Going to go in with Smash, this one here. Just load up the brush there and get this going in the crease there. Oh, that is pretty. Kind of reminds me of one of the shades from the Sweet Peach palette. Oh, I'm so glad I picked this palette. There was a couple of other ones I wanted, but they didn't have them in stock, which sucked. But I might pick them up further down the line. Like, I kind of fancied the mint chocolate palette, but it has a few out there shades that I don't know if I could use. So. I didn't go out yesterday intentionally meaning to buy makeup, it just kind of happened. But I'm really happy with the choices I made. And hopefully I'll still be happy with the choices I made at the end of this video. So let's go in with a lid colour. I'm gonna go for gold. It is called Gift. Look at it. Let's do a swatch. Oh, that is something pretty. Let's get this on the eye. Please look that pretty on the eye. Oh, it does. It does. See, this is what I like about iHeart, well, just Revolution Beauty in general. Sure, they might rip off other brands slightly. They might take their intellectual property or whatever you want to call it and slap their brand on it. But this, to me, I don't know if it's a dupe of a specific palette, but it's definitely a culmination of lots of different palettes. So it's like it's like 4 or 5 different high-end palettes all rolled into one $7.99 eyeshadow palette, which makes me so happy. It's actually, I love Revolution Beauty. Their quality is usually always good, and the longer the brand's been around, the better their quality's gotten. I mean, when you look back to the iconic palettes, I mean, they were good, but they weren't great. This, I love. So pigmented, and if this stays on all day, that would be awesome. I think there's football on. I swear I can hear Tawdry Stadium. I mean, I don't live that close to it, but when there's football on, you can't help but hear it. Now I'm torn between which one to go for next. Either go for this brown or this brown. think I go for, what's this one? Dessert or segment? Dessert or segment? We'll try a bit of dessert first and see how it goes, because I don't want it to go too dark too quickly. Probably using a pencil brush wasn't the smartest idea, but hey ho, let's go with it. That does look nice. It does look a bit too much like Smash when it blends out though. Oh man, all the orange oil that I can smell off of this is just, oh, it makes me so happy. Blend that gold back up, and then I'm going to go in with a bit of segment just to deepen that up a bit. Oh yes, this was a smart decision, layering the two browns together. Very smart decision. Gonna pick a bit more of that clementine shade and run it through the crease to blend all that together a little bit more. A bit more of Smash. I know it looks a bit of a mess right now. I am very well aware. I'm just mixing dessert and segment together now. Oh, there's definitely football and I can hear them chanting. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but I can definitely hear them chanting. Again, just blend a little more of that gold back in. And that is it for the eyes just now. There's so much makeup. I haven't put this much makeup on my face in a while. Just going to clean that up a bit. Buff along that top edge just so it's diffused a little bit more. Especially at the tails. Always where my eyeshadow goes mental is at the tails. Right, so primer. I am going to use a mixture because I don't necessarily know what the priming qualities of this product is. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Anti-Redness Primer. And I'm also going to take a little bit of the Beauty Flash Balm from Clarins. So I'm going to take Beauty Flash Balm first, and I'm going to put it in the places that I want it, which is along the cheeks and forehead. I'm going to keep it off the nose. Very much a perimeter primer. And most of my redness is on around my nose, cheeks, and a little bit on my chin. So let's give this a good shake up. Oh wow, that is really liquidy. see how this, just look how thin that is. That is good. Good consistency. I've always had a problem with green colour correctors, or just colour correctors in generally. I think now that it's becoming more of a mainstream thing, the formulas are getting better, but they used to really be very thick, very dry. Like they either came in a really thick cream that would make you literally green, or it would come in one of those stick forms that would just sort of smear around your face and not really do anything. It's good consistency. It's blending in, definitely. Maybe I should have put this down first. Maybe. Because it seems to be smearing a little bit over where I put the Beau Flash Balm. I'm just going to put a bit more on my chin. Layer it up a bit. And a bit more around my nose here. That's where most of my noticeable redness is, the tip of my nose and around my nostrils. There we go. Now, let's squeeze out the sponge and get the foundation out. I've heard so many good things about this foundation. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Turns out it was just the football again. So I have the foundation and the concealer in here somewhere. The Revolution Pro Full Cover Camouflage Concealer and the Full Cover Camouflage Foundation. Both of which are in the lightest shades, F1, C1. No real instructions on it, so I'm just gonna shake it out for good measure. You can never go wrong with shaking up your foundation, I suppose. Make sure it's not settled or separated or anything. It's quite lotiony. It's quite a moist consistency. Okay, we'll start with that much. We'll start with this much and see how we get on. Just gonna do a couple of dots. Ooh, it's got a bit of a, you know, like as you put it on, it's got a quick bit of a cling to it. You feel it sort of tack onto the skin a bit. Okay, so let's do this. Let's give this a try. I am a little worried that this colour might be a bit too pale for me, which is bizarre, I know, but you know, with all the diversity in colours now, they're coming out with even lighter shades, which is awesome. But it's like autopilot, go for the palest. I was going to get the Conceal and Define concealer, but they were, all the ones that were left were open, and they didn't really have any in the lightest shade there either. They just had the mid shades and the really dark shades left. That does look really nice. Like it doesn't feel like heavy on the skin or anything either. It blends out really well. Just gonna apply a little extra in the areas I think I need it. Make sure this is properly blended, because when you've got like full coverage foundation, you can always tell when it's not blended properly. It doesn't really seem to be clinging to any hairs either, which is a bonus, because there's nothing worse than having a foundation stash. I'm really happy with that. I actually don't even think I really need concealer, but I am going to put a touch under the eyes. The concealer has a bit more of like a little grey cast to it. The foundation definitely had a bit of a pinky undertone. This is definitely a bit more beigey yellow, which is kind of what you want for an under eye. You need that little bit of sort of warm tones to cancel out darkness, I suppose. Yeah, I think that's kind of why warm tone shadows took off so much, because it made everyone look so bright and wide awake. Just having the proximity of orange eyeshadow made everyone's skin look brighter, maybe. Nonsense. I know it's our nonsense. I still have concealer, like half the concealer I put out on my hand. That's how little I needed to use of that. It's definitely got a bit of a glow to it. I am going to take a little bit and go over my nostrils though, because foundation wears off really quick from there for me, and it's difficult to cover up the pigmentation. Most of the time I don't really bother, but I want to see if this works, because if this is really good at that, then I'll probably integrate this concealer into my everyday stash. I'm just going to blend around my neck a little bit. Make sure it's not got like a mask line. I think I did get a little bit of colour yesterday. This foundation is definitely not matching me. I think it's about a shade or two a bit too light for me. But we'll fix it. We'll fix it. So what colour cosmetics are for. So I'm just going to set this with the usual powder, the Laura Mercier Mineral Foundation in Soft Porcelain. This in itself might give enough of a colour difference. This foundation wears the powder very well. Like sometimes when you put, sometimes depending on the foundation, when I go and set it, it'll like the powder won't sit well. It'll look very dry or cakey. The powder seems to sit very well on this. Maybe that was part of the formulation process, because we all know Revolution Beauty likes to follow trends, and they have like baking powders and stuff, like specifically marketed baking powders. So maybe this foundation was designed with that in mind. I don't know if they can, I don't know if that's something they think about, but it definitely wears the powder very nicely. So this rest of this part is stuff that isn't new. It's mostly just my Project Pan stuff. So we have my Guerlain bronzer, Guerlain highlight, Cool Gardenia. I know it seems a bit weird to be putting a pink highlight with orange eyeshadow, but I've kind of gotten used to it. I don't know, I'm so used to this highlight, I don't know what I'm going to do when it's gone. I'm going to have to hunt for a dupe. I probably own one. I'm just so used to this highlight now. I can't live. Living is without you. I'm sorry, I promise never to do that again. Ever. For bronzer, I have Hoola from Benefit. You know, the only thing that Makeup Revolution really needs to come out with is good brushes. If they could come out with good brushes, like I tried their metal brushes, they were like synthetic fibers, they weren't very good. Like the powder brush was okay, and they had like a, oh no, I have one here. And like this this brush was okay, but the fibers, they're just so smooth that they don't really do what I want them to. They need to find a more textured synthetic bristle. Because I know they're a makeup line that has gone complete vegan, so obviously it's going to have to be a synthetic fibre. But surely there must be a synthetic fibre out there that's got a bit more texture to it. I mean, we can mimic almost any other kind of, like, we can mimic any kind of fake fur and all kinds of stuff, so mimicking goat hair shouldn't be too hard, right? Again, this is sitting really well on top of that foundation. With the buffing motion, sometimes you have a shift in the foundation, like it'll move. It's sitting put. Really good. And for blush, we have Flower Child from Becca. Perfect to go with this eyeshadow, I think. Nice and warm and glowy. I'm gonna go full diva with this makeup, like for real. I'm not going anywhere today, so I can go as crazy as I want. Going full diva. You know, bringing the blush up here, we need to bring that back. I will single-handedly bring it back if I have to. I love this blush. It's like the perfect coral. It's a perfect blend of pink and peach. So pretty. So pretty. Right. Now to finish up under the eyes, I'm going to go back in with a bit of dessert just on the pencil brush. And in the inner corner, I'm going to take It's Mine, if I can find the brush I want to use with it. Here. It's Mine is the very big shimmery block there. And I'm going to pop this in the inner corner. Okay, and just to blend everything out, I'm going to take a bit of Clementine and just run it along the bottom there. I'm also going to take a little bit of my usual highlight shade on that same brush and just blend it out a little bit more, just so it's even softer. Round off the edges as well. Right, I'm going to keep the brows really soft. Don't want to go overboard. Just going to put some L'Oreal Brow Plumper through. So I tilt the mirror so I can see. I'm so happy with this eye makeup, guys. It is so pretty. For mascara, I have the MAC in Extra Dimension little sample. Okay, and for lips, I have two new lipsticks I want to play with. This first one is Copper Clutch. These are from the L'Oreal Matte range. They're from the Stone Mattes collection, I believe it was called. It's like an additional 8 shades for their matte range, and I freaking love their matte range. Just give me a minute to peel stickers off. So we have Stone, and we have Copper Clutch. So I'm going to go with Copper Clutch first. Oh my god, guys, this color. Just love how creamy this formula is as well. And then I'm going to take a little bit stone in the center. This lipstick actually really reminds me of a more wearable version of Vanilla Truffle from Estee Lauder. I actually have a Vanilla Truffle. And then we have Stone. Slightly darker, slightly more of a peachy undertone, but it has the desired effect that I always wanted with this lipstick. So I'm very happy that I purchased Stone. And there we go. I am super happy with that. I wish my hair was always this curly all over. Oh, I am super happy with this makeup. So super happy. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. So pretty. You know, the brows they look fine and clean, but if I'd done them with pomade, they would have been a bit more striking. May have been a bit much if I'd done pomade. So far, I am still very happy with all the products I purchased. I know on my teeth. I know it's on my teeth. I knew that. I know the L'Oreal lipsticks are always good. I'm a huge fan of L'Oreal lipsticks just generally. But the eyeshadow blends beautifully. The foundation looks really good and it doesn't feel heavy or anything. It just feels like a lightweight sheer coverage foundation would. But it's got amazing coverage. I'm really happy with this primer because I don't see... I see a tiny tinge of redness. That's because I've got like a capillary thing going on there. I don't think anything is ever going to cover that up properly. But apart from that, everywhere else, it's good. And the concealer, it doesn't look drying under the eyes or anything. I will try it out a couple more times in between project panning, but so far, I'm very impressed. The first impressions left a good impression. So let me know what you guys thought. Do you like the makeup look? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This was loads and loads of fun. And I will see you in my next video. Bye bye. Hey guys, so I thought I would just round off this first impressions. We're at the end of the day. Not the best lighting, you can't really see it all that well. If I tilt this up a bit, you can kind of... Oh, mascara, not so good. But I will say that this makeup has actually held up really well. We're about 10 hours in, and I have done nothing to maintain this makeup at all today. I'm very impressed with how... what am I even trying to say? It's like 9:30 at night, guys, or 10:15 or something. I'm a bit... But I'm really impressed with how the eyeshadow stayed very well. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't think of the word that I want to say. But I'm really impressed with how long and precise the eyeshadows lasted. The lid shade has faded and sort of blended into the crease slightly, but that's pretty much normal for most shimmery eyeshadows. In fact, the fact that I still have inner corner highlight going on, I'm amazed. That's usually the first thing that goes, because if I go like this or anything, usually it's what wipes off. I was not very conscious of how I was touching my face or anything during the day, and in fact I've had, you know, kitty hands touching my face, and particularly Luna has this thing at the moment for grabbing noses, so my nose has been touched a lot today. So the fact that there is still actually foundation on my nose is a good sign. It is very much broken down, actually. At this proximity, you can kind of see. Most of it's broken down around my nose, where my glasses sit, around the tip of my nose, where my nose has been grabbed, where I get a little oily around. It has worn off, and the redness is showing through there, and on my chin. But that could be from just generally sitting like this. I have a bad habit of that. But the blush and everything has stayed on really well on this foundation. Like the parameters of my face is really good. It has settled into lines on my forehead, but it can actually kind of be sort of blended out. Like if you were to maintain this makeup, it feels like it would be easy to maintain. The fact that it's at a 10-hour mark and it's actually still kind of salvageable, like you can blend it out of lines, that's a good sign for me. The fact that it's not complete, like apart from my nose obviously, it's not a complete hot mess at the 10-hour mark, that's a good sign for me also. Although during this whole process, because anytime I got a glimpse of myself, I would check it out. I never realised how poorly Benefit's Hoola did on the skin. Like it's like a patchy mess. About 5 hours into the day, it was fading really badly. But yeah. Overall, I'm still quite impressed. I would have to test out a little bit longer, but I just wanted to jump in here and give you an end of the day conclusion rather than just the first impressions. At the end of the day, first impressions, I'm still pretty jazzed about this product. The Revolution color, what's it called? Full cover camouflage. I like it. So I'm going to take off my makeup and go to bed now. So I will catch you guys later. Thanks so much for watching, and bye bye.